Sam has the easiest phone number to remember.
If some is good, more must be better, right?
I think it's an easy temptation for a lot of people to just think that, you're going to make your teeth cleaner if you're going to brush them harder.
It's a healthy habit that can end up being a bad thing. Now, you're supposed to brush your teeth regularly, even more than once a day, but it can cause serious damage if you overdo it or brush incorrectly.
In tonight's Good Health Report, Local 4 medical expert Dr. Frank McGeorge shows you the very serious consequences of over-brushing.
Now, I've got to admit, it sounded like the craziest thing when I first heard it. Really? Brushing too much? But it is possible to overbrush your teeth. And I found out because I was doing it, gradually developing gum problems as a result. And as it turns out, it's actually very common. 26-year-old Erik Gregory from Clawson has always taken great care of his teeth.
I had a couple cavities when I was a little kid, but as an adult, I've never had a cavity.
But about 10 years ago, his dentist gave him a warning.
My dentist told me that I was probably brushing my teeth too hard. I thought brushing my teeth is a good thing, more brushing is a better thing, so I would just brush more.
Fast forward 10 years later.
I started noticing that around these teeth here that the gums had receded some.
And when he saw his dentist,
immediately there was a lot of concern about more than just the couple areas that I was concerned about.
Which led his dentist to refer him to Southfield periodontist Dr. Joseph Nemeth. A periodontist is a dentist that specializes in the treatment of the gums and tissues around the teeth.
Recession is really when the gum tissue moves away from the tooth.
Some recession is normal.
We usually see some recession as one gets older. That's where the term long in the tooth comes from.
But it's not normal for your gums to pull away too much or when you're younger. Common causes of severe or premature recession are family history, orthodontic work, infections, and the most preventable, overbrushing.
Brushing was a major component in recession, 75–85% of the time.
So you probably think the pink gums aren't as important as the bone in holding your teeth in place. That's not true. Brushing the gums away causes the bone to disappear as well, ultimately exposing more tooth surface, putting it at risk.
I just figured, my teeth are way more important than my gums, so I just want to make my teeth clean.
And as the gums recede, it can become very uncomfortable.
I noticed significantly more sensitivity to hot and cold things.
The areas that we see the most recession in are the areas of the eye teeth or the cuspids, because those roots tend to be the most prominent, and also because they're at the corner of the mouth, they're hit the most vigorously. I've actually seen cases where the teeth, particularly the lower front teeth, have been snapped off because of over-vigorous brushing, which has actually sawed the teeth almost in half.
Erik's situation was already pretty severe.
The immediate suggestion was that probably doing some type of graft surgery.
And it was a success.
The gums have definitely come back and they seem to have healed very nicely.
But it was all preventable with better brushing.
Proper brushing technique, if you really want to play it safe, would be to brush up on the lower teeth and down on the upper teeth. Don't spend too much time brushing. 2 minutes is more than adequate.
And pay attention to how you hold your brush.
I would hold the brush gently. I wouldn't hold it real hard, because if you're holding it real hard, you're going to go at it and you're going to tend to scrub.
I've changed my toothbrushing style significantly. I'm not gripping it like a club. I'm holding it between my fingers. I'm using much more gentle circular strokes.
One other thing to touch on is the selection of toothbrush. A few things. Generally, soft or medium is more than adequate. Hard or firm bristles will only cause more abrasion. You should only use those if your dentist actually suggests it. Also, look at your toothbrush. If it's frayed at the ends, you've either been using it for way too long, or you could be overbrushing using too much pressure. Back to you.
All right, we learned something.
I'm doing like 9 things wrong.
The hammer and chisel, you have to put that away and go to a brush.
Good lesson.
If you're wondering how you should brush, by the way, with an electric toothbrush, then we've put that info on the health page at clickondetroit.com.
Thanks, Doc. Now here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow night. A Metro Detroit mom says she was obese.